evening, America! Welcome back to Nascar Cheez Cup Series season of racing action. Last week we saw Tails take home the win at Texas for 2 in a row. But this week we head to the last great Coliseum in Bristol, Tennessee for the Busch Beer Bash at Bristol. 125 laps are what the drivers are going to need to conquer this week. But it's not just the other drivers that they need to worry about this week. It's the track. This track is treacherous, to say the least. Who can conquer this track best? We're about to find out as this race will get underway. But first things first, let's take you through the starting lineup for the Busch Beer Bash at Bristol. Brock Lesnar takes his second pole in a row. It might be 3, but I'm not sure. But he will start on pole once again, and alongside him is his teammate Corbin Forrester. 3 Hendrick Motorsports cars are going to start in the top 3 as Mary Poppins takes 3rd next to Winnie the Pooh. Next in line we have Justin Allgaier starting alongside Rob Zombie. Keanu Reeves is going to start alongside next to Larry the Cable Guy, an impressive qualifying effort by this number 40 car. Jesus Christ himself is going to start next to Tails in the 19 who won 2 races in a row after last week. Richie Birkenhead is going to start alongside Phil Collins this week. John Popper is starting alongside the number 20 of the Bee Gees. Donald Trump will start next to the number 1 of Arnold Schwarzenegger as David Bowie will start next to number 41 of MC Hammer. Behind them is Susan Boyle on the 98, starting next to Sweet Tooth in the 9. Elvis Presley will start alongside the 55 of Aaron Carter. Trent Reznor will start next to the 11 of Jake from State Farm. Bernie Sanders will start alongside Brad Pitt. Behind them, Jack Black will start alongside Bruce Willis. Barack Obama will start next to CM Punk in the 42 as Giddy Haynes will start next to 27 of Janet Jackson. Dale Earnhardt from 1970 is going to start next to Benjamin Franklin. Rob Halford is going to start next to Tommy Joe Martins. One If Racing will start alongside the 43 of Greg Graffin, and Vin Diesel will round out your field alongside Slim Shady in the number 18 car. This race is sure to be exciting. We're about ready to get it underway. The Busch Beer Bash at Bristol is soon to begin. Aerial coverage is once again today provided by Smithfield Foods as the pace car takes a hard left into pit road, leaving the field in the hands of Brock Lesnar and Corbin Forrester. The Busch Beer Bash at Bristol is underway. 125 laps and complete and utter chaos lie ahead of our 40 Cheez Cup Series drivers. Into turn 3, Brock Lesnar with the advantage over his teammate Corbin Forrester. And already we've entered lap 2. The race just goes by just that quickly here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Brock Lesnar leads over his teammate Corbin Forrester. These two get a huge jump over the rest of the field as Mary Poppins sits in 5th, 6th, 7th, 3rd. Keanu Reeves sits in the 4th position now, as behind him, rounding out the top 5, is the number 88 of Jesus Christ himself. Already an accident on the track 2 laps into the event. A caution flag on the racetrack. A gaggle of cars in the back now. Let's take a look and see just what it was that brought out this, the first of most likely several caution flags here from Bristol Motor Speedway. Let's take a look at when the lights on the pace car came on. That's the wrong way. There we are, okay. God damn it. Other way, for fuck's... okay. Okay, so that's when the pace car's lights came on, and it's just a big pile up in the back. Most likely someone just stopped on track. Wow, heavy damage it looks like to that number 51 of John Popper. A blown tire, a fair possibility. Nope. It's a little bit more than that, I'd say. Yeah, let's take a look in super slow motion to see what happened to the number 51 of John Popper. Behind him was the number 1 of Arnold Schwarzenegger, an extremely aggressive move to be making early. John Popper slides down the racetrack and gets into David Bowie, and it's just downhill from there for the number 51 of John Popper. What an unfortunate turn of events for this 51. The 51 car had such a great finish last week at Texas, and he was looking to start moving his way further up through the points. CM Punk gets a piece of it. And this is definitely not going to help. Dale Earnhardt from 1970 hits head on into that number 51 of John Popper. Greg Graffin comes through and hits into Dale Earnhardt from 1970 on his nose. Vin Diesel with some ARCA brakes hits him on the nose too. Cleanup is going to take a while for this. The first caution flag of the Busch Beer Bash of Bristol. Back up front, it is Brock Lesnar in the 48 who has led all 3 laps so far here from Bristol Motor Speedway. Next in line is Corbin Forrester in the 24, Mary Poppins in the 5, and already they're going down pit road. Oh boy. Tires may be a hot commodity today at Bristol Motor Speedway. Yeah, they're down pit road for the first stops of the day. Through pit road they go. Brock Lesnar leads them. Corbin, Mary Poppins, Keanu Reeves, Justin Allgaier, Bee Gees, Donald Trump, Tails, MC Hammer, Sweet Tooth, Bowie, Presley, Boyle, everyone and their mothers in this race today. Looks like lots of these drivers just took fuel. At least that's what it appears to be. Yes, most of these drivers just taking fuel. Potential strategy as Larry the Cable Guy and Jesus Christ collide on pit road. Allgaier, Zombie, Keanu Reeves sitting in here for a time as the game has a seizure trying to locate where all these drivers are going to be. This game does not work well with pit stops at this track. Phil Collins is the only driver that stayed out during this cycle of pit stops. Potential strategic move for Phil Collins to lose out on the potential gas to get some track position here today in the Busch Beer Bash at Bristol. Behind him, the lineup hasn't changed too much, though. Second place is Brock Lesnar in the 48, followed by Corbin Forrester in the 24. Mary Poppins is in 4th as Winnie the Pooh rounds out the top 5. Next in line is Jesus Christ himself in the 6th position. Larry the Cable Guy sits in 7th. The Bee Gees in 8th. Donald Trump up to 9th, and MC Hammer rounds out your top 10. Let's see if there's still drivers sitting glitched on pit road. Yes, indeed. It looks like Keanu Reeves, Justin Allgaier, and Rob Zombie are going to be caught a lap down because they changed tires on pit road, and for some reason, that causes the game to glitch up just for whatever reason here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. It could have been a lot more chaotic for these drivers than that, but that's okay. These drivers still have yet over 100 more laps to get back on a lead lap and potentially go after a win. And there's still plenty of time for other drivers to get glitched out and end up a lap down. Is that how this race is going to go for the most part? Probably. Let's see if they can keep it green for more than 5 laps this time. Phil Collins brings them down. He stayed out over Brock Lesnar. Phil Collins with the lead. They are green once again at Bristol Motor Speedway for the Busch Beer Bash at Bristol. And there they go through the corners. Tight racing action. Let's quick jump to the spectator cam to see where everything's shaking out. Phil Collins with the lead. Next in line is Keanu Reeves and Justin Allgaier. All the lap down cars are immediately behind Phil Collins. Could they get past? That is the biggest question I have to think. But Winnie the Pooh is trying to take over that second spot underneath the 48 of Brock Lesnar. As they go by, listen to the sounds of NASCAR. Cheez Cup Series. Through 3 and 4 is Winnie the Pooh in second, I think. Yes. No. I don't know. Anyway, it's a 4-way battle for whatever position this is. Jesus Christ himself with some great moves, moving his way up through the field, past his teammate of Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar falls to, I don't know where he falls, but behind him is the Bee Gees, followed by Larry the Cable Guy, who has had a fantastic race thus far. Larry the Cable Guy not having a season to write home about so far. He's hoping to turn it around here today at Bristol. But up front, it is indeed Phil Collins. Let's take a look from the roof camera of Phil Collins. I do not see the tail end of the lead lap, so lap traffic is not a factor so far. I don't know if Phil Collins is pulling away from the lap down guys or if the lap down guys are going to catch Phil Collins and move past. I think they're going to catch Phil Collins and move past. Keanu Reeves with a, with a 0.2 of a second better lap than Phil Collins that time around. Could these new tires that these drivers allowed down put on come back and help them out? Phil Collins with a 16.9 and Keanu Reeves with another 0.2 of a second better lap. Justin Allgaier right behind. Tommy Joe Martins you just saw on pit road for whatever reason. But it is Winnie the Pooh in second, followed by Jesus Christ himself, Brock Lesnar in fourth, and the Bee Gees round out your top five. MC Hammer up to 6th place, Corbin Forrester right behind him in 7th. Smoke on the track, most likely a caution's about to come out. No, they're still full speed, so I didn't think CM Punk was a lap down, but it appears that CM Punk has gone a lap down. This could play into how these guys behind Phil Collins are going to get up through the field. Tommy Joe Martin's now multiple laps down after taking an unscheduled green flag pit stop, most likely. Aaron Carter is the next to go a lap down, as Dale Earnhardt is actually at the back of the actual pack. Phil Collins being held up by that number 44, Tommy Joe Martins. What is going to happen because of this? Phil Collins right beyond the number 44, Tommy Joe Martins now. He can't get past. I don't know if he's really being held up or not. He probably is. This field is charging up behind him. CM Punk with a bump and run to get his lap back. Phil Collins will not be impressed by that. Lap traffic pushing our leader out of the way to get back onto the lead lap. Here comes Keanu Reeves in the number 16 and Rob Zombie in the number 21 to try and get their laps back now. Phil Collins holds the lead though. Phil Collins with a gargantuan lead over 2nd place Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh is just watching this, hoping that the 14 of Phil Collins is held up or spun so that the number 7 of Winnie the Pooh can get back to the get to first. You know what I said. Tommy Joe Martins and CM Punk holding up the number 14 of Phil Collins, it looks like. Maybe not too much because... Oh, okay, now they're side by side in front of Phil Collins, so no matter what, Phil Collins is going to be having a tough time. Yeah, Phil Collins pinched in between 2 lap cars, but it doesn't seem to be harming him too much. Here comes Winnie the Pooh into frame. Lap traffic playing into the hands of Phil Collins early in this, the Busch Beer Bash at Bristol. We will take a quick commercial break, but you won't miss a thing with NASCAR Nonstop. Stick around and let's watch some more NASCAR racing action in the Cheez-It Cup Series. Race number 7 continues. Coming soon to YouTube. It's the first musical release by Kamikaze Games in nearly a year and a half. It's Gas Station, featuring songs such as There's No Time to Waste.
No matter the time, no matter the place, I'll be there for you when there's no more time to waste. Against all odds, at any rate, I'll make it through, make no mistake. I'll be there for you when there's no more time to waste.
Gas Station will be released for free 100% on YouTube, coming soon.
That uses an ultra-quiet fan to actively circulate your favorite fragrance throughout the entire room.
There. Isn't that better?
New Glade plug-in scented oil fan.
Freshness with a spin. Plug it in, plug it in.
S.C. Johnson, a family company.
Today's NASCAR Cheez Cup Series racing action is brought to you in part by Amazon Prime. Get it literally within minutes. Phil Collins continues to lead the Busch Beer Bash at Bristol. This, the 7th race of the NASCAR Cheez Cup Series season. One accident thus far involving John Popper in the 51 put some drivers down a lap. Keanu Reeves, most notably one of them, as well as Rob Zombie. Second place now is Jesus Christ himself, as Winnie the Pooh has fallen to third and may fall further as Brock Lesnar has caught the rear end of that number 7 car. The Bee Gees round out the top 5 after Tommy Joe Martins went down pit road for who knows whether or not it was a scheduled pit stop. Behind him, though, is the number 24 of Corbin Forrester. MC Hammer having a great race in the 7th position. Justin Allgaier also a lap down early. Elvis Presley sits in 8th. Bernie Sanders sits in 9th. And Gibby Haynes having a fantastic day rounding out your top 10. Sweet Tooth is up to the 11th spot as Larry the Cable Guy has fallen to 12th. Donald Trump sits in 13th and Barack Obama sits behind him in 14th. Slim Slaney rounds out your top 5 as 2 Barry Gibbs racing organizations race with each other. In 16th, it is Jake from State Farm. Brad Pitt sits in 17th, as behind him is the 17 of Vin Diesel. What If Racing sits in 19th, and in 20th, it is Benjamin Franklin. The rest of your field, let's take a look. John Popper is still on the lead lap and fighting for positions after a nasty crash. Last week's winner to become the 2-in-a-row race winner, Tails, sits in 29th. Unable to tame Bristol like he had Texas and Sonoma. Phil Collins has caught the rear of the 42 of CM Punk, but his lead hasn't diminished, to say the least. And after really early pit stops at about lap 4 for most of these drivers except for Phil Collins is showing that old tires can still have power. This could play into the favor of Phil Collins, or it could not. We will just have to wait and watch the rest of this race to see exactly where the pawns fall. For this number 14, Phil Collins has had a rough couple of weeks. He did finish well at Texas, but at Sonoma, as you all should probably know by now, Phil Collins was leading until a caution flag came out late, and he ran out of fuel during pace laps on the final lap of the race. Tails would go on to win that race and win Texas to extend his points lead over everyone else even further. Lap traffic, well, for the most part, has kind of been caught. They've kind of been there in the form of CM Punk for a while. But could this shake up the running order as Phil Collins has caught the rear end of the lead lap? Bruce Willis, the last car on the lead lap at the moment, looking to be holding up Phil Collins far more than that 42 of CM Punk. Keanu Reeves already back up to the rear bumper within a car length of that 14 car. A gaggle of cars up front here. John Popper lost a couple of positions over this time here. Keanu Reeves looking to get back his lap. Second place is still Jesus Christ himself. Let's compare lap times between our leader and Jesus Christ himself. Jesus got a 17.3 that time around, while Phil Collins got a 17.6. Interesting set of circumstances for these two drivers. "44 laps complete at the Busch Beer Bash at Bristol." Fantastic drives by all our drivers so far. Winnie the Pooh sits third. Behind him is Brock Lesnar in the 48. The Bee Gees still sit in 5th. Forrester in 6th. You know, I don't think the running order's changed that much. I think Elvis moved up a couple of spots, but beyond that, it is still the same running order that it was before. Now, we're going to take it to a brand new feature of NASCAR Cheez Cup Series Racing. Why don't you grab that dial on your speakers and crank it up? Thanks to our sponsors over at Subway for allowing us to have that segment of Crank It Up today at the Busch Beer Bash at Bristol. Bruce Willis is still on the lead lap, but it has been a hard fight between him and Phil Collins. Phil has not been able to pass, I don't think, anybody to put them a lap down for a while now. The running order has not been shaken up for the most part. These drivers have been strung out. But lots of racing action still to come from Bristol Motor Speedway in this, the Busch Beer Bash at Bristol. Phil Collins continues to lead as we will take another quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. This is NASCAR Cheez Cup Series racing action on the Kamikaze Game Sports Network.
Coolest winter in the dead of July. If I was king of the living our lives, castle in the sky. If I was king of the world.
I'm Wilfred Brimley, and I'd like to talk to you for a few minutes about coming in my butt. Actually, about my doctor. And I think the most important thing he said to me was, Wilfred, if you want to get I'm going to do you but faster.
Welcome back.
Get him from here. Oh my god. It's always something!
Today's presentation of NASCAR Cheez Cup Series Racing is presented by Dasani. Whenever you feel the need to put the most common liquid on earth into your bag.
Welcome back to the Busch Beer Bash at Bristol. This race has been exciting, to say the least, as we near halfway. 62 laps now complete. Phil Collins continues to lead over the number 88 of Jesus Christ. Winnie the Pooh sits in third. The Bee Gees sit in fourth. Corbin Forrester rounds out your top five, followed by Brock Lesnar in the sixth position. MC Hammer sits seventh. Bernie Sanders sits eighth. Gibby Haynes is in ninth. And Sweet Tooth rounds out your top 10. Larry the Cable Guy sits in 11th. Elvis Presley sits in 12th. Donald Trump is in 13th. Barack Obama 14th. And Jake from State Farm sits in 15th. The rest of your field, your back-to-back winner from last week, Tails, sits in 25th. Definitely not the day that he's going to want in points, but his points cushion over second place is certainly going to be able to allow for a couple missteps here and there. But it is indeed Phil Collins still out in the lead. A surprisingly tame race here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. One caution came out early in an incident involving John Popper. There is when these drivers went into pit road for the first time, and it's looking more and more likely that there will be only one more pit stop coming at probably around lap 80-ish for Phil Collins especially. Phil Collins got the lead of this race by staying out under caution. He was the only driver to stay out under caution during the first cycle of pit stops, and he has held the lead ever since. He caught the tail end of the lead lap of the field in Bruce Willis after about 35 green flag laps, but has not been able to do anything with them since. And he hasn't had to. The number 88 of Jesus Christ was nowhere near that number 14 for the longest time, as Jesus Christ himself was having trouble getting past lap traffic of his own. But now Jesus Christ is definitely much closer to that number 14 of Phil Collins than before, as Phil Collins has held up from all angles. Phil Collins caught behind the slower number 55 of Aaron Carter, now on the outside line. This could be exactly what Jesus Christ himself needs to catch that number 14 of Phil Collins. Phil Collins coming so close yet so far away the past 2 weeks to winning a race. Has been leading ever since this race restarted at lap 5 or 6 or whenever he got the lead. But for now, Phil Collins sits in first place, a lap car separating him from the number. Oh, yeah, there goes Dale Earnhardt from 1970. Which, god damn it, go to Dale Earnhardt from 1970. Is this going to be a caution, or is this not enough to bring out? Yes, indeed, the caution lights are flashing. Dale Earnhardt from 1970 brings out the caution flag for the second time here today at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Let's take a look at what brought this incident to fruition as Dale Earnhardt from 1970 goes for a spin. Super slow motion will show us that Aaron Carter dove way too deep into that corner. Dale Earnhardt came down on it. Dale Earnhardt from 1970 came down on Aaron Carter, and it was just a combination of two aggressive moves between two drivers fighting to stay on the lead lap. Dale Earnhardt from 1970 collides with the wall and does more than flatten the right side. He caves in the right side of that number 3 car. What a shame for that driver and team. But it is Phil Collins who will come around to pick up the pace car. Phil Collins, your leader. 72 laps complete! Phil Collins collides. Oh no! They're piling up. Oh, they're stacking up. They stacked up. They're still getting into each other. Lots of damage. They keep piling in. For God's sake, guys, could you not possibly? Chaos and confusion as the drivers stack up under caution. Gibby Haynes down pit road, but it is Phil Collins with the lead. Keanu Reeves will get back his lap on the track. And that's the second caution flag of this race. 73 laps complete as these drivers head down pit road. Some drivers have already gone down and they are sitting on pit road. There's Phil Collins right there. Trent Reznor on pit road as there goes the beneficiary, the biggest beneficiary probably of this caution flag, Keanu Reeves, who will gain back his lap. There's the other side of pit road. Here comes Keanu Reeves in the 16. Some drivers that stayed out or couldn't pit because they're a lap down. Rob Zombie, Aaron Carter, CM Punk, Tommy Joe Martins, Justin Allgaier, Darren Earnhardt, Gibby Haynes, John Popper, and MC Hammer. I do believe MC Hammer was on the lead lap, so MC Hammer, with a strategic move to stay out. Out of pit road comes Trent Reznor and Jack Black. But we will be having a front row seat for the battle off of pit road. There goes Bruce Willis. So there's Keanu Reeves. Phil Collins is nowhere to be seen unless I missed him. He came out already. I'm not sure. I think that's him back there, but yeah. Lots of drivers still sitting here. Not sure if the game is glitching up again. It probably is, because that seems to be all that ever happens at this frickin' track. Yep, there goes the pace car, so these drivers are all going to be caught a lap down as a result. What a shame for that number 14 of Phil Collins, who continues to sit on pit road. I'm just going to chalk this all up to every one of these drivers sitting on pit road had a speeding penalty entering, so they had to sit out a lap and lose their lead lap. So what a shame for that number 14 of Phil Collins to lose yet another race in the most unfortunate of ways. He puts together a great race last week, battling with Brock Lesnar, but Tails put on a whooping on the whole field in that event, instead of Phil Collins winning that race. And the week before, Phil Collins leading when the caution flag comes out, he runs out of gas on the final lap. And I do believe what happened here is that this is the tail end of the lead lap drivers that are going to start in front of the lead lap drivers. Jesus Christ himself is your leader. Lap down cars will be right here, I'm pretty sure. And Jesus Christ yourself will restart here. There is Phil Collins, a lap down in 30th. This game, man. Okay, are they going green? Hold on, are they going green? Okay, so let's sort out the running order before they do indeed go green. So Gibby Haynes is the first car... Well, the first... Well, I don't know what he is. But he's up front, starting next to Mary Poppins, who was the first car one lap down. These guys got their lap back by not pitting or something. I don't know. This game's confusing. But so let's go back to Jesus Christ himself, who will restart this race first. We are about halfway through the next lap. We will be halfway through the race. So, I think, no. Yes? No? Yes? I think I don't fucking know. Jesus Christ will restart in first place. Second is the Bee Gees in the 20. Third place is Bernie Sanders. And fourth is Donald Trump. Fifth place is Sweet Tooth in the number 9. And Barack Obama will restart 6th. What If Racing will restart 7th. Elvis Presley in 8th. Brad Pitt in 9th. And Vin Diesel in 10th. Rounding out your top 10. What a chaotic and confusing way to go about things. So many powerful drivers stuck a lap down as a result of speeding penalties on pit road. Gibby Haynes will lead them down to the restart, but it is Jesus Christ himself with the lead. Let's drop back and take a look 3 wide as they come out of turn 2. Look at who is going to be getting their lap backs here. Phil Collins with a move underneath Jesus Christ himself. He will gain back his lap for the moment. Underneath now is Richie Birkenhead underneath that number 88. Now Corbin Forrester goes by. Aaron Carter looking to get his lap back. Jesus Christ being held up on the outside line at Bristol Motor Speedway. Let's go to the spectator cam to get a better look at what's going on. Trent Reznor is up at the front of the field right now. He is the first driver. I think he's like in 17th or something. But he is not in first. First place is at number 88. I'm pretty sure, and there goes Phil Collins spinning! Spinning is several drivers on the front stretch! Big pile up on the front! If I could figure out how to go through these stupid cameras and cars and stuff, I'd have been able to see that. They are 4 wide, bunched up next to each other. Huge, crazy collision as they continue to hit into each other. What on earth caused this incident? Let's head back in time and see what exactly happened. Oh, yeah. What a mess. There's Rob Halford at the bottom of the track. Let's see where this chaos and confusion, that was a weird way of saying chaos, chaos and confusion began. It looked like this started out with Phil Collins and some others. So let's head back in time quick for a moment and let's see how this incident came underway. Phil Collins, let's see this in super duper slow motion. A nearly 4 wide as they come down through out of turn 4. Jack Black goes down on Phil Collins, who goes down on Richie Birkenhead. It is a 3-way, and no, this is not Playboy magazine. These drivers both spin. Jack Black and Phil Collins both spin. But they continue to pile up behind them as drivers 3 and 4 wide pile into this incident. Yeah. Does TV2 look better? No, it definitely does not. Let's try from spectator now. Yeah. Several drivers. Tommy Joe Martins, who got in behind. Janet Jackson pile drives the number, goddammit, wrong way. 32 of Rob Halford. That's how he got down to the inside. And look at this absolute mess of cars. Side by side, Justin Allgaier comes to a complete stop nearly to avoid this incident. The third caution flag here at Bristol Motor Speedway. What a hectic turn of events. After chaos and confusion brought them out here. But it is going to be Elvis Presley with the lead now. What if racing the second? God, the running order. Third place is Jesus. They're continuing to wreck now. God, I can't figure out how to work this. Yes, they're wrecking on the backstretch still. Collision after collision on the track. Drivers that are slow getting into drivers that are not slow. Actually, it's the other way around. Watch MC Hammer just pile drive in there. Yep, there goes Richie Birkenhead in the back of him. This is the third caution flag here at Bristol Motor Speedway, and the running order is shaken up even more. Elvis Presley takes the lead. What if racing the second? Jesus Christ back to third, and Sweet Tooth is fourth. Fifth place is the Bee Gees. Sixth place is Barack Obama. Donald Trump sits seventh. Rob Halford, after that amazing accident, is eighth. Somehow. And Bernie Sanders will come down and be in ninth. And rounding out your top 10 is Brad Pitt in the 46th. Please don't tell me they're going down pit road. Anything but more pit road. This race is chaotic enough without more pit stops. Let's see. This should be the lap that they would go down pit road if they are going down pit road. It looks like they're staying on the track, it looks like, from here. What an amazing turn of events. Elvis Presley now leads the Busch Beer Bash at Bristol. 82 laps complete in this a chaotic NASCAR Cheez Cup Series race. Incredible action from the Bristol Motor Speedway. Wowzers. I'm worried that I'll miss the restart if I go to commercials, but we're going to tentatively go to commercials. We will cut back should the race restart, but we will go to commercials for now. This is the Busch Beer Bash at Bristol, and we will see you in a minute.
Hey, do you like buying things? Of course you do! Hey, do you like t-shirts? Of course you do! Do you like buying t-shirts? Who doesn't love buying t-shirts? And what better way to signify the fact that you love buying t-shirts than buying one of my t-shirts? Yay! So what are you waiting for? Head on over and then you can go to that website there, right there. You can read it right here. Look at it. Look at it. Just go there. And you can get yourself a t-shirt. Son, enjoy the video.
Welcome back to the Kamikaze Games Sports Network presentation of the Busch Beer Bash at Bristol. This race has gone flipped upside down like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and let's set the field for you. First place is Elvis Presley in the 33, and then on the bottom underneath him will be Tommy Joe Martin. Second place is What If Racing, followed by Jesus Christ himself. Fourth is Sweet Tooth in the number 9, and the Bee Gees round out your top 5. Next in line will be Barack Obama, then it's Donald Trump, Rob Halford, Bernie Sanders, and Brad Pitt, your top 10. Vin Diesel, Greg Graffin, Jake from State Farm, Benjamin Franklin, and Slim Shady, your top 15. But there's still plenty of racing left. It will be 40 to go at the line. Elvis Presley takes them to green. This race is back underway. Elvis Presley pulls out to an impressive lead early, and What If Racing's right behind him. Those cars on the bottom are definitely slower, being held up by that damaged Tommy Joe Martin's 44. But What If Racing is right there. I think he's got a better car than Elvis Presley right now. What If Racing could make this a little bit more interesting in a moment. Close quarters racing action at the front of this field. All sorts of craziness all the way through the field. Let's go to the spectator cam quick to try and get a look at the rest of this field. Elvis Presley and What If Racing nose to tail as they come into turn 3. Let's look through the field and see where everything is shaking out at the moment. Jesus Christ remains in 3rd place. Rob Halford up to 4th somehow in that destroyed number 32. Bernie Sanders is in 5th. Vin Diesel is in 6th apparently. As there is more wrecks in the back. There went, I saw that number 7 of Winnie the Pooh go around. And what a shame. Winnie the Pooh, who had been doing so great in points, but they will remain green. This incident did not cover enough ground in time. Winnie the Pooh goes around. But the race remains green. Elvis Presley with a more lead over What If Racing. Back through the field once again. Bernie Sanders get past the damaged number 32. Jesus Christ is back to 5th. Vin Diesel is in 6th as Jake from Safe Farm looks underneath him. Currently in 8th place is Mary Poppins in the number 5. Gibby Haynes sits in 9th, and Trent Reznor is now 10th. Bee Gees fall back to 11th as David Bowie takes over the 12th position. Sweet Tooth is in 13th. Greg Graff in 14th, and Brad Pitt is in 16th. Next to him is Benjamin Franklin in the 13, and next in line is Donald Trump in the 31. Slim Shady battles next to the number 83 of Richie Birkenhead. There's all sorts of action. I swear I saw Tails there for a second, but I guess he disappeared off the face of the planet. Corbin Forrester sits in 24th, as Larry the Cable Guy comes underneath him. Drivers all over the place. Phil Collins, after leading for the first half of this race, now sits in 31st behind Keanu Reeves. Winnie the Pooh now sits 34th, but it is Elvis Presley out in the lead in front of What If Racing. Brock Lesnar is in 35th, followed by Dale Earnhardt from 1970. These lap-down cars only muddling up the running order. Bernie Sanders is up to 3rd place, past the number 88 of Jesus Christ. But this race is far from over. What If Racing is still right behind the number 33 of Elvis Presley. If lap traffic comes into play, this could shake up the front 2 for certain. Elvis Presley holds off that number 25 Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet for the time being, but this is a tight and tough fight. I do believe that Elvis Presley is holding up that number 25 because Brock Lesnar and the rest of these lap down cars have quickly caught up to the 2 leaders. It is unsure if What If is just like trying to think this through carefully and make his move at the right time. But if he does not act quickly, the 3rd place driver, Bernie Sanders, will be right there battling with the rest of them. What If Racing with a lane open, but it is not enough. Too much momentum on the side of that number 33. But this is your battle for the lead as we enter lap 100. 26 laps to go in the Busch Beer Bash at Bristol. Elvis Presley leads over What If Racing. 3rd place is Bernie Sanders, and 4th place is Jesus Christ himself. This battle up front only continuing to heat up as Brock Lesnar catches these drivers. Lesnar in 35th place after falling a lap down. Several drivers falling victim to pit road speeding penalties, putting them down a lap. And by pit road speeding penalties, I mean this game glitching out. But that's not the point. 101 laps completed now. Enough for every Dalmatian to have their own lap at Bristol. Brock Lesnar has caught our 2 leaders, but it is a little bit further back that you have to find 3rd place Bernie Sanders. It's about a straightaway that our leaders have on that number 6 at Bernie Sanders. Elvis Presley continues to lead as they head into turns 3 and 4. Let's take a look potentially through the field. Here in the Busch Beer Bash at Bristol, Elvis Presley leads, taking over the lead from Jesus Christ himself after the 2nd caution of the day, I think. 3rd caution of the day, right? I don't actually remember. It's the second caution, I'm pretty sure. But Elvis Presley took the lead, and What If Racing also got past the number frickin' 88 of Jesus Christ himself. Now in third place is Bernie Sanders in the sixth. Bernie Sanders having a great race so far. Jesus Christ as well, holding down in the fourth place. Fifth place is now Rob Halford, as he is challenged by the number 11 of Jake from State Farm and the number 5 of Mary Poppins. Eighth place is Gibby Haynes in the 15, and the Bee Gees have brought itself back up to the 9th position. Vin Diesel sits in 10th, and David Bowie in 11th. Trent Reznor now down to 12th, as Donald Trump holds down 13th. There's Tails in the 14th position. Your points leader, Richie Birkenhead, with a lot of damage, sits in 15th, followed by Brad Pitt, who also has a lot. I think everyone's got a lot of damage right now, to be perfectly honest. Aaron Carter sits in the 17th position. Corbin Forrester now in 18th. Larry the Cable Guy sits 19th, and Sweet Tooth rounds out your top 20 through this field. Elvis Presley now has a more commanding lead over the rest of the field, but lap traffic now coming into play. Barack Obama on the outside, Janet Jackson on the inside, the much slower cars. There is Phil Collins, after having such a dominating race, now sits 32nd. That is not going to help him in the points at all whatsoever. Barack Obama on the outside. Elvis Presley underneath. What If has caught back up once again. Will lap traffic play into this finish? Into turns 3 and 4 goes Elvis Presley in the 33 as they come down to the line. 15 laps remain at Bristol Motor Speedway. Unless there's another caution, most likely this race will end within the next 5 minutes. What If falls back as Elvis Presley takes a huge lead. Brock Lesnar up to 34th now, but Bernie Sanders is still stalking back there. Elvis Presley with a 17 flat compared to a 17.5. That is an excellent lap, and is exactly what Elvis Presley is going to want to do as these laps start winding down even more. 17.4 at the line for Elvis. What If with a 17.29. Incremental, but this track, vital. Lap times are vital at this racetrack. At the line once again, Elvis Presley with a 17.1 compared to a 17.2. Will lap traffic play into effect as they are side by side in front of Elvis Presley? The slow car of the number 27 of Janet Jackson outside Winnie the Pooh. What is Elvis going to do? 11 laps to go now. It is a blockade of cars in front of this 33. They get it sorted out as the 33 of Elvis Presley gets underneath the number 7 of Winnie the Pooh. But it is this finagling, oh my gosh, of this has just been crazy. Brock Lesnar now goes underneath the number 25 of What If Racing. 9 laps to go at the line. Brock Lesnar has overtaken the 25 of What If Racing, but that is not for position. Elvis Presley now has a buffer car in between him and second place. What If Racing has definitely got dropped off the pace now. Here comes Bernie Sanders in that number 6 car. Will it be enough? Do any of these drivers have enough time to catch that that excellent number 33 of Elvis Presley? Brock Lesnar trying to get his lap back here. But I don't think Brock Lesnar is going to have much of a shot at winning this. There is Elvis Presley. Around and around and around they go, as this race is winding down now. Already past the number 25 of What If Racing is Jesus Christ himself. What happened to Bernie Sanders? Bernie Sanders has fallen back to 4th now. Elvis Presley through turns 1 and 2. The Busch Beer Bash at Bristol has been a hectic, to say the least, event thus far. But there are still 5 laps to go, and on a track like this, that's plenty of time for anything to happen. 5 to go at the line for Elvis Presley. Elvis Presley with an up and down season, looking to grab 100 points off of this victory here today at the Busch Beer Bash at Bristol. 4 laps remain in the Busch Beer Bash at Bristol. This is the 7th race of the 2016 or 17 NASCAR Cheez Cup Series season. Dropping back to 2nd place now. Jesus Christ himself is in 2nd place. Elvis Presley at the line. 17.3 his lap time. 17.3 for Jesus Christ. It is not going to be enough. Elvis Presley, no pushover. He had a rough season up until now, but this win is going to feel very, very special for that driver of the number 33 Chevrolet for Rich Children Racing. As he comes out of turn 4, 1 lap remains in the Busch Beer Bash at Bristol. Elvis Presley takes it through turns 1 and 2. It's going to take something crazy to stop that number 33 now. Lap traffic ahead, but it's not going to matter to that number 33 of Elvis Presley, who comes down to win the Busch Beer Bash at Bristol. Fantastic drive by Elvis Presley. Impressive finish, to say the least. Jesus Christ himself takes the 2nd position, followed by Bernie Sanders in the 6th. I don't know who finished 4th. Let's drop out and see who finished 4th. Rob Halford finished 4th, of course he did, in that damaged, nearly destroyed 32. Mary Poppins ends up in 5th place. Another fantastic points day for Mary Poppins. Bee Gees finish in the 6th position, and What If falls to 7th to finish off this race. Vin Diesel ends up 8th. 9th is Jake from State Farm, and 10th place is Gibby Haynes. Let's take a look at your championship competitors. Tails takes home 12th, so he'll probably pad out his points lead even more. Trent Reznor ends up in 15th, Corbin Forrester 17th, David Bowie 18th, and you have to go all the way back to 29th to find Phil Collins' last car in the lead lap after an unfortunate pit road speeding penalty took him down to 29th and out of the lead. And Allgaier finishes 35th, because of course he did. An excellent win by that number 33 of Elvis Presley. 6 different winners in 7 races this year in the NASCAR Cheez Cup Series season. Thank you all so much for joining us here at the Kamikaze Game Sports Network for the Busch Beer Bash at Bristol. We will see you next week. I don't know what the next race is, so I'm not going to say. But yes, this has been more NASCAR Cheez Cup Series racing action from Bristol. Thank you all so much for joining us, and we will see you next time in NASCAR Cheez Cup Series. See you later, everyone. Hell yeah.